Did the stock market just bottom? Because we just came off the worst month of the entire year. 2023 has been great until September came around. And so now that we're in October, we're trying to see like, yo, is this the bottom? Is it time to start buying again? Are we expecting more upside? Newski, let's cover everything for them today, bro.
Yeah, let's get started, man. It's going to be a good one. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will have all the links in the description below. So let's get right into it. Is the bottom in sight for the US stock market? This is as of October 3rd. Now, why is this so relevant, right? Excuse my voice, but why is this so relevant? It is because September is usually the worst month in the stock market. And from what Rel just said, it was in fact the worst month. So it says in September, the US stock market dropped. The S&P 500 ended the month down, I'm just gonna say 5%, and was down nearly 4% for the quarter. It is up for the year, but that's a pretty big drop just for 1 month. Now, the same thing with the NASDAQ. It fell nearly 6% in September and 4% for the quarter. It's still up, but once again, it took a hit. So when you think about that, Raul, last year, when we made the prediction and let people know that, hey, this is a good time to buy, it was mid-October, end of October. And now we're kind of looking at the same thing. So without going any further into the episode, what do you think about this so far?
Yeah, I mean, listen, September is the only month in the stock market where over 50% of Septembers are actually red. Like every other month in the stock market, they're not 50% of the time or more red. Like, so there's an expectation that September's red. September's over. We're now into October. Like you said, last year, that was the lows. They call them the October lows. That was the low of the bear market. This time around, I can see that happening. I can see that, like, in my opinion, even just looking at the charts and some things, I wouldn't be surprised to see like a rally coming. The thing is, everybody's in the in-between zone where is this just going to be a relief rally where we go up for a little bit just to come right back down, or are we going to make all-time highs? Because we came really close to all-time highs a while ago and then completely sold off in September. So we're in a really in-between zone. A lot of people like don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and this is from CNBC. This is on October 2nd. The same thing you just mentioned, which was great. It says September sell-off, October bounce question mark, because basically we kind of experienced that. The link will be in the description below for you guys, but this is really the part that we want to talk about, the bottom line. We just talked about all the three indexes, didn't do too hot, but then this is the part where it's like, well, being oversold doesn't guarantee that stocks will bounce. That condition suggests that stocks are cheap relative to their recent price range. That's the key point that I really wanted to just get from this part for you guys. And it says, after all this information that we just talked about, October historically is a winning month for stocks. So we're not saying like, yo, this is the time to buy, but it is interesting because when you look at it, the main things we always talk about, Microsoft is down 4.3% the last month. Apple down 8%. NVIDIA, the stock market darling, down 9%. Tesla is the only one that was up like around 1%, which is not great considering that what they were doing. And you can see this is all over the place. So that's very interesting. And let's talk about how this is related to the job market report, right? So Rel, you want to talk about this and what your thoughts are?
Yeah, so the ADP employment report came out earlier this morning, according to this on Wednesday. And so they say the private payrolls rose 89,000 in September, which is way below expectations. We're talking about they had expectations of 160,000. That's basically double the amount that came out. So the fact that they only had 89,000 payroll growth, what does that show? That shows that things are slowing down. That does show that this job market that's been so tight might be finally starting to loosen up. And that is the intent. Even though Jerome Powell won't say it, that is the intent of all those interest rate increases, to see if he could crack something like the employment situation, because the employment situation is what's been propping up inflation. So he's like, yo, we need to crack that so that we can make sure inflation stays down and we could cool this economy down. Spending is a ridiculous amount. I don't know where people are getting this money from. And so this may be the first sign that, hey, those interest rate increases that he did all throughout 2022 into 2023 might finally be taking weight on the economy.
That's a fact. And it also, the other data was ADP also said that annual wage growth slowed down to 5.9%. So this is a 12th consecutive monthly decline, which is, once again, to Rel's point, this is good because just to put this into perspective, when the wages are not going up as much, that means people are not getting paid and getting the same increases that they were previously getting. So now, since they're not bringing home as much money, that means they're not spending as much money. So now, since they're not spending on crazy stuff and being reckless, that means the price of products and services is going to have to just level out eventually, and inflation will have to be controlled. That's what Rel is saying, essentially. Jerome Powell doesn't want to say it out loud, but that really is his intent. And when you look at this tool, which is the CME Watch, Fed Watch tool, it's basically saying in November when he's supposed to, announce the increase in rates, it's saying currently there's a 76.9, so really 77% chance that he will not be increasing interest rates. So this is considered technically good for what's going on. This is what he wanted. So is he about to pull off the impossible? We don't know. But in terms of the stock market bottoming out, listen, no one can predict the pinpoint, like exactly the day that it's going to happen. It's just impossible to predict exactly when something's going to happen. However, when you see declines like this, it's not a bad idea to be like, hey, this might be a good opportunity to buy, or I'm just going to continue dollar cost averaging the way I have been doing, which is always helpful. So, Rel, you have any last statements on that, bro?
Yeah, I would just say exactly, like, take the opportunities when you see them, because everybody was expecting us to go even lower. And then today, after the employment data, we rallied really hard off of that data. And it shocked a lot of people out of their positions if they were in short positions. So like Nusi said, if you're a long-term investor, you see dips on great companies, buy them. Tesla went crazy today to the upside. So come on, and you already see that it's been doing well on the month, even when everybody else was selling off. So take your opportunities when you see them, and we'll see what transpires going forward. We have more employment data coming out. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the economic data is looking like, because it does seem like things may be slowing down. So therefore, Jerome Powell can take his foot off of the gas pedal. But other than that, it's to be seen.
Yeah, that's a fact. But that's really the episode for you guys. We want to just summarize everything. If you're still watching, thank you. We appreciate you. Please make sure you like and comment and subscribe to the channel. Plus, hit that little notification bell because we drop
2 videos a week.
And you do not want to miss them. Check us out on Monday. But until then, peace.
Peace.
Soundstripe.